Everyone's asking why. The world keeps spinning, no one seems to care. Lost in the noise, a silent prayer. Does anyone out there even hear the cry? I'm just a voice in the wind, but I'll keep on screaming, 'cause someone's missing. I won't stop dreaming.
Hey guys, does it sound okay so far? I don't want to get on here again with my mic messed up. I did a whole hour with my mic being wonky. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope you can. All right, one of y'all let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can. I really do. All right, great, great. Yesterday I sounded like I was in a tunnel. So tonight what we're going to do is this is Project Cold Case Unsolved Homicides, and what I do is I talk about the person before the tragedy. Nobody wants or deserves to be known by their death. They need to be known by who they are. So that's kind of just what I do. Just kind of like an honor to the deceased that have lost their lives to other people's hands. But before I start that, I want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Pookie Duke. We have Lizzie, James Kavanaugh, Just Sam. Hey, Just Sam. We have Elizabeth. Thank you for coming in. Sweet Maria. I like harp seals. That I don't know why that cracks me up so much, but it does. Tragedy Pimp. We have Far. Hey, Far. We have Tragedy Pimp again. Just lurking. I like that name. James Kavanaugh, what are you doing up this late? We have Unscripted Chronicles. If you would like to share your link, you're more than welcome to. It's just when I have a whole bunch of people in here and everybody wants links shared, it's kind of hard and I'm scared. I don't want to lose my channel. We don't have many in here. So if you want to go ahead and share that, go right ahead. Guys, if you're not subscribed, you really should be. She does really fun protests. She goes through the missing. She does a little bit of everything. She's kind of our I want to say jack of all trades, but I'm going to say June of all trades. All right, so I'm going to hush and go ahead and get started here, guys. I apologize. I get to rambling. All right. So first, we're going to start. All right, had to pick and get where I was at here. I'll save StreamYard updates one more time. Okay, this is Selena Escobar. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her. Now, this story is part of a collaborative project between Project Cold Case and the University of Florida journalism class. December was always Selena Escobar's favorite month. She loved to entertain friends during all the holidays. Her wedding anniversary is New Year's Eve, and it was the best time of her life each year. Selena hadn't been able to celebrate anything in over 40 years. On August 16th, 1979, she was shot and killed in Queens Village, New York. Her murder remains unsolved to this day. Selena grew up in Colombia. It was there that she became a nurse and met her husband, Lewis. Now, Selena was assigned to bring Lewis out of surgery toward the end of her shift. However, she was interested in meeting him once he regained consciousness, so she went ahead and switched shifts with the next person just so she could be there for him when he woke up. Well, the rest is history, says Selena's only daughter, Luisa Escobar. The two got married in Colombia and then moved to Queens Village. It was there that Lucia was born. Now, Lucia said her parents' relationship was always what she had aspired it to be. She says her dad and her mom, they were just on a pedestal. Her parents would always wait for each other to eat dinner so they could recount their day together. Selena and Lewis, they adored their daughter. They attended all of her recitals, school, always sitting front and center. While Selena was only 5'2", she was always the loudest in the room, cheering her daughter on. Sounds like me. Every birthday, Louisa was awoken by her parents singing "Happy Birthday, My Darling" by Nelson Ned. Oh, that is so sad. God. They would sing it every year without fail. Whenever she hears that song now, she can't help but cry. Now, during Christmas, Selena's home was always filled with family and friends. She loved playing piano and violin. She danced. She cooked. She did anything to entertain her guests. Now, whenever Selena and Lewis had company over, they would kind of work together in the kitchen to prepare food for everyone. They always wanted to do things together. Oh, isn't that sweet? Ugh. The family of three would travel to Colombia every summer for vacation. They would often stay in, I guess it's finca, a house on a farm in the mountains. Now they would visit family, go to the river, and play games all summer long. It was a total time of bliss for her. The kids would be swimming while adults would dance to music. Everyone was laughing. Now Selena wore a dress and heels everywhere she went. She always told her daughter, dress to the nines when they were going out. Now Selena even wore a long pink silk dress and a fur coat to her daughter's first communion. Oh, that's so cute. It was May and she was wearing a fur coat, Louisa chuckled while looking through pictures of her mom and dad. She's even wearing her pearls for my seventh birthday, she says. Now, Louisa described her mom as a nice, caring, loving, helpful person. The trio would go see the Rockettes every year. One year, even though it was freezing cold outside, Selena took off her gloves and gave them to someone that was sleeping in the street. Now, Louisa questioned why, but her mom replied, I can always get another. Now, at the time of her death, Selena had two jobs. During the day, she'd work at a Standard Motors factory, and at night, she would do commercial cleaning. On August 16th, 1979, Selena went to deposit a check on Jamaica Avenue in Queens Village around 10 p.m. after her night shift. Now, from there, the details of the incident are undetermined. According to the New York City Police Department, Selena's body was discovered in her car with two gunshot wounds to her head. Now, the passenger side window was completely down and there was only one bullet hole in the front windshield of the car. Now, police say it's unclear whether the killer was ever even in the car. It's unknown whether Selena had stepped out of her vehicle at all during this encounter, and police really don't have enough information to piece together anything that's happened. Now, Louisa woke up early that next morning. She knew something was wrong. There were just dozens of people filling her living room, and none of them was her mom. Hey, Lisa Joe, thank you for coming in. So none of them were her mom, and she knows when she woke up there were just tons of people in her living room. So I run quickly and took Louisa to school. Once there, school officials explained that her mother had died. Now, Louisa could not believe that her mom was gone. And to this day, police and Louisa still don't have many specifics from the night of Selena's murder. And her case has just been unsolved for over 40 years. Louisa hasn't given up trying to figure out who killed the most important person in her life. Every week, she continues to call the police for more answers, but she's not getting any answers. Lisa Joe says, I'm probably going to pass out, but oh, well, thank you for coming in, Lisa. Even to say hello. I appreciate that. Now, after Selena's death, Louis and Louisa were all each other had. They spread pictures of Selena all around the house, but, the house wasn't really a home anymore without the mom. He was devastated. She's heartbroken. And Louisa was only 10 when her mom was taken from her. And for over 40 years, she hasn't gone a day without thinking about her. She drives by their old home, her mother's grave during birthdays, anniversaries, and on Mother's Day. Now, she still attends the church that her family attended together. Every year, Louisa stated, Louisa's favorite picture of her and her mom was the last one taken of them. Now, Louisa has her arms tightly wrapped around her mom's stomach. Both have huge smiles on their faces, and Selena's eyes are completely closed. The picture resides in the background of Louisa's phone screen where she sees it every single day. Louisa has never forgotten her mother's smile, and it comforts her to see it. Now, guys, if you have any information on this unsolved murder of Selena Escobar, please call the New York City Police Department at 718-574-1796. What a heartbreaking story. It's just so heartbreaking, and that's why I kind of want to bring up who they are before we go and even discuss, what happened to them. It's just out of respect. Okay, so next we have Renata Bateman. On February 13th, 1993, Renata Bateman's remains were discovered in the desert of North Pima Road in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, police reported that Renata suffered from blunt force trauma to her head that was caused by an unidentified object. It is unknown whether exactly Renata was killed, but news reports say she was last heard from on January 13th, 1993. Now, Renata was born in Phoenix and raised in Arizona. She was a mother to five daughters and dreamed of reuniting them after they were all placed in foster care. Jolanda, one of Renata's daughters, reflects upon just many fond memories with her mom. One of the favorite memories were them going to the zoo. She would carry me on her shoulders and take a picture with the giraffes. Then one of the giraffes began to eat my hair. Now, Jolanda fondly remembers her mother's interest in hobbies, just particularly the ones that she loved to go bowling and fishing. Jolanda stated that Renata's love for bowling was so deep that she even had her own personal bowling ball. Now, Renata's childlike personality brought joy and happiness to many, but her absence has left a gap in her loved ones' lives that they can never get back. Now, Jolanda states that the loss of her mother, she was only 8 years old at the time, and this has affected her in so many ways in the past and present. She's always struggled with trying to find a mother figure that could guide her through difficult stages of life due to the absence of Renata. Anyone with information concerning Renata Bateman's murder is asked to call the Scottsdale Police Department at 480-312-2653. And you can remain anonymous. Hey, Mustang, thank you for coming in. Again, that number, guys, is 480-312-2653. And if you want to be a silent witness, you can. And that number is 480-948-6377. And there's so many sad ones, guys. I just go through the Project Cold Case, and it's just like the ones that stand out to me. I don't know. I'm just weird like that, I guess. This is Ronnie Ratliff. Ronnie Ratliff, her first name is conjoined from her father, Ronald, as well as her father's best friend who passed away from a car accident, Warren Lee. Now, Ronnie is also the name of a girl who was taken on April 15th, 2004, when she was only 24 years old. The family's fit. The family first. Ronnie was the first daughter, first niece, first grandchild. She was just one of those special kinds of people that you just wanted to protect, said her aunt Kimberly Sink. Now, Ronnie was the kind of person you would want to be around. She had a heart of gold, and she would always find a way to compliment someone, even just during a random conversation. A young, caring lady who wanted nothing but the best for others. She was a bubbly, happy kid. Ronnie had an inner strength that a lot of people just don't have. Ronnie has a difficult childhood and was forced to grow up fast. It was so hard to watch her going through everything. She was always daddy's little girl. Now, Ronnie made her father a CD full of songs, and he played it over and over again, so much it no longer plays. Gospel music and John Mellencamp were what she loved to listen to. Her aunt Kimberly remembers taking Ron Lee camping, helping her get ready for prom, assisting her with science projects. She was so dear to her aunt Kimberly. If she needed me, she knew to come to me, she says. If you upset Ron Lee, she would let you know, but now her voice will never be heard again. Ronley grew up in Morrisville, Indiana. One day she decided to visit her mom's house just south of town, and Ronley wanted time to herself. However, someone did take that from her. On the day of her homicide, Kimberly received a call and was told Ronley was gone. Well, where did she go? Kimberly asked. No, she's gone. She's passed on, was the reply. On that Thursday morning, Ronley was found in her mother's home, lying next to the sofa. The manner of death was never released. However, reports indicate Ronley's death was a homicide and that a fire was set to cover up the murder. Now, there are several things that us parents do not want to know about that our adult children do. I wish I wanted to be nosier for her. I could have maybe saved her, says Kimberly. No. Ronley's family is just devastated. My heart died. There's a piece of me that will never mend, Kimberly says. Now, Ronley had a huge impact on those she loved and all that loved her. A conversation would not go by that Ronley didn't bring up her Aunt Kimberly. Ronley wanted to have people around her she could trust, and Aunt Kimberly stated, also sharing that. Unfortunately, that wasn't this case. Kimberly promised Ronley that she would get the respect and justice that she deserves. In remembrance and awareness of Ronley Ratliff, her aunt tries to beat the silence of Morrisville by managing a justice page on Facebook, distributing handwriting notes, and Ronley on the back of photographs, keeping her grave decorated. Now, I like to make sure Ronley has fresh flowers to keep her pretty. People know that Ronley is loved and thought of, and Kimberly states that after 20 years, Ronley's still alive. Her story's not over, and her family will continue to say her name. This is not going to be the end, says Kimberly. Anyone with information concerning Ronnie Ratliff's murder is urged to call the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, and that number is 765-342-1080. To remain anonymous and possibly be eligible for a reward, you can call Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana at 317-262-8477. Let me see what you guys going on in chat over here. I think I got everybody. If I missed anyone, I do apologize, guys. And I realize it's late. So if you guys need to go to bed, go ahead. I just have to do this before I go to bed to know I've done something. It is, Chris. Her case is it is a little creepy, but just from what Project Cold Case put out, I just kind of read what they put on there. But yeah, there's a lot of very bad details in Romney's case. Yes, there is. All right. So next we have Keith Colley. Oh, look at his little grin. And see, it's stuff like that that will make me remember the person, like a grin, a smile, like how they joke. Stuff like that matters, guys. It really does. Do you guys have any questions before I don't want to just keep rambling and rambling. Is there anything in chat you guys need to talk about? I don't know how many of you have went to sleep while listening, so I do appreciate that you're watching. If any of you, I know with the current events that's going on in the community, if there is one of you that need heard, let me know. I mean, we can have a panel where everyone can be heard. I'm not going to sit and bash him. I feel like it's law enforcement's job to do what they're going to do, but I do want to be here for you guys. This is a lot. It's a lot for me. It has to be a lot for you. So just know that I'm here. We don't have to have a panel about it. We can just talk. We can chat, whatever. But there are a couple families that want to come up on panel and they feel heartbroken and just so discouraged and so taken advantage of. So I kind of don't want to do that. But if they need heard, I'm going to give them a panel to do it. As much as it hurts, I'm just going to let them do it. But all right, you guys are awful quiet. So the ones that are sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well, and I'll just continue. It is hard to stay awake. I mean, it's after 1 o'clock a.m. here. I'm sure I know for unscripted, she's like an hour or so ahead of me. Okay, Keith Colley. Sorry, guys. It's been 23 years since Keith Colley was last seen alive, and his mother can still remember his smile. As a child, Keith played baseball with Little Bandits. He was a school patrol officer in Dinsmore Elementary. He and his cousin got the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. with the school, winning a contest for patrol. Well, that's awesome. Keith grew up around a lot of family. His grandparents owned 50 acres on a lake. The whole neighborhood gathered around, and everyone was very tight knit. He loved everyone. He was never in a bad mood and loved animals. He carried every dog home he could find on the side of the road. Oh no. He loved to ride dirt bikes and was extremely active. Before his disappearance, Keith was saved by his church, and he and his family rode the bus to and from church together. He had the most beautiful eyes. He always had a smile and a mischievous look on his face with those eyes, says Benicia Wilson. Now, wearing an orange tie dye shirt with her son's face on it, sitting at her kitchen table. Everybody loved him, and he would do anything for anyone, she says. Now, Coley disappeared in June of 2000, and his pickup truck was found a few days later. His remains wouldn't be discovered for another year. With that investigation, that eventually did lead to his body. It was identified a year later as Keith. Oh, that's a long time to wait. The case has since gone cold, and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is yet to find any kind of actionable leads. Each year on January 15th, Colley's birthday, Wilson and her family post flyers across the city, just praying that someone will have more information. This hasn't been a breakthrough, and it may not be. Sitting down with her mom and sister in then their Jacksonville home, Wilson just reflected on memories of her son. Colley was handy with friends like anything mechanical, Wilson said, and he had great big dreams. He always wanted to own his own business. He would work on cars, have garage. He had all kinds of life and big ambitions. Never once did she or he think that he was never going to live to past the age of 23. Jamie Evans, a girlfriend of Keith's, met Colley in high school. The pair dated for 6 years and they celebrated her 21st birthday together. Now she used to visit his headstone on his birthday, which is 10 days before her. But he was definitely a good person. He never talked badly to anyone, and he didn't have a bad bone in his body, Evans says. He wasn't that type of guy. He was just really, really a good guy. He liked to have fun, he liked to party, but he also liked to be around his friends for sure. His girlfriend explained to Vanessa that He can't help it. When those girls look in his eyes, they chase him everywhere. Well, if he had blue eyes, I mean, let's all face it, men with blue eyes get chased everywhere anyway. So, though over 2 decades have passed and the case has gone cold, Keith's mother hasn't stopped pushing through this investigation. Wilson says she's never going to give up on that. One day, her and her family will get justice. If you have any information on the unsolved murder of Keith Cawley, please call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit at 904-255-2626. I mean, and it's another heartbreaking one. It's like, ugh, dang, horrible. But of course, we're going to have these are all heartbreaking because they are unsolved. We check chat. Everybody's asleep, but they're still watching. I'll take it. I swear when that in the very beginning when I'm watching the little countdown, it looks like this. That's how I feel like it's a bomb. It's like boop. uh, it's awful. Anxiety is something else. All right, do we have any questions? I know Far's just listening. I bet you Unscripted is asleep. Okay. If you guys are not, if you don't have any other questions, or if there's a case that you want me to bring up, I mean, I'll bring it up. It's fine. I just, I don't know. I kind of just miss you guys, and with a lot going on, it's good to keep our minds busy. I think. All right. Well, I'll continue on then. So we have Susie Quinn. Oh, she looks so cute. I think she's so pretty. Let me make sure I unmuted because this mic. Okay, I did. Thank goodness. Imagine that. The story is part of a collaborative project between Project Cold Case and the University of Florida journalism class. Susie Lee Quinn's children remember her as a caring and loving mother, saying her cooking was great and her mac and cheese was the absolute best. She treated everyone with love and care. Her children described her as being a mom to the entire neighborhood. Now, as such, it devastated the neighborhood when she died. Susie was murdered on July 25th, 1986 in is it Macon or I'm going to say Macon, but I think it's Macon County, Georgia. She was only 28 years old. Susie grew up in Macon County where she attended high school. She's very smart, graduated at her top 10% of her class. This was the same school that most of her family had attended. She learned how to sew while in school, a skill she would use very often in her adult life. In her free time, Susie was always making something, whether it was crocheting, sewing, ceramics. As a young adult, Susie made Cabbage Patch dolls to sell to the neighborhood children. She also used the sewing skills she learned in school to make some of the clothes that her children wore, creating all of their dress clothes. Well, so she's so talented. On Friday, July 25th, 1986, Susie Quinn dropped her child off at their dad so they could, meet up with some of their friends there. Susie and her husband had been separated, but their children said they were planning on getting back together. She told her kids that she would be there to pick them up the next morning. However, the next day came and went, and they still had not heard from her. By Sunday, they were worried. Susie's husband just took their kids. Susie's husband took the kids to their house to see if she was maybe there. As they pulled up, they noticed all the lights on and from outside. They heard the radio was on as well. Now, Susie, however, was nowhere to be seen, and there was no answer why that they had knocked on the door. Her husband took Clarissa and Ricardo back to his house. Later that evening, there was a knock on the door with a police officer asking for her husband. Now, the officer was there to inform him that they had believed they had found Susie. She had been found that day on a dirt road not far from her Oglethorpe, Georgia, where she had been stabbed multiple times. Susie's brother identified her body. Ricardo said that when his mother's funeral was held, it seemed like everybody in town was there. He was just in awe at just how many people cared about his mom and how it felt the whole town was just grieving her loss. Now, Macon County, Georgia was standard small town America, where everybody knew everybody and always tried to help one another. Susie loved to make pottery, and she would help the wife and the sheriff who ran the local ceramics store. Susie had a love for many, and plants were among those things that she loved. She had hedges in the front yard that she just adored. She would trim them in many shapes, including triangle shapes. Clarissa Quinn Turner, Susie's daughter, said that neither I or my brother ever wanted to ask her for anything growing up. Our mom did everything she could to make sure that we had everything we needed. Susie was a friend not only to her children and her kids and their friends, she was just everyone's mother. My mother was the type of person who would light up a room soon as she stepped in it. Christmas was a close second on the list of the favored holidays. According to her son, Ricardo Quinn, Susie's sister in law, Edith Quinn, she loved to decorate her house for Christmas. I enjoyed spending time with her. We were very close together and always enjoyed each other. Now, my mother made sure to capture the important moments in our lives and how to make them special. I miss having someone that I could talk to and go to for advice, says Clarissa. There are many things I wanted to learn about my mom, but I will never have the opportunity because her life was taken from us. When Susie was killed, Clarissa was 12 and Ricardo was only 10. Susie Quinn was 28. She never got to see her children become adults. She never got to grow old. Her family misses her every day and hopes that one day to find out the truth is what happened to her that night. If you have any information on the unsolved murder of Susie Quinn, please contact the Georgia Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-597-8477. That's another heartbreaking one. That's just terrible. It is. It's just awful. How many we got in here? I think many have. Oh, we got some back. Okay, I was like, I think everybody went to sleep on us, Chris. I see you're awake. But we'll continue. We'll continue. Okay, next we're going to talk about Thelma Rico. And guys, I won't make this long. I know it is early in the morning. Sometimes I have insomnia or anxiety and I just can't sleep. And I think this is my way helping people. So bear with me here. And Chris, I'm so happy to see you tonight. I'm surprised you're up this late though. Okay, so next we have Thelma Rico. And she's an unsolved homicide victim from April 8th, 2012 from McAllen, Texas. You're wide awake? I know, me too. Sometimes I have these nights where I can't sleep and you know how it is. It happens. We're getting older. It's just what we do. Okay, so Thelma. Thelma Rico was a loving mother with a wonderful sense of humor. She was known to play pranks on her own children. She was always smiling, laughing. Everyone in the community knew her as a caring person. Thelma would often be found gardening despite the brutal weather of McAllen, Texas. The infectious smile and laugh is just missed. It's so missed. On Easter morning 2012, Thelma Rico's body was found. Thelma was born October 13th, 1965, and with her birthday falling near Halloween, she grew fond of the holiday, and it sparked her love for black cats. Just because of your situation, yeah, I have insomnia, and then I have PTSD, so it's probably similar to mine. It just happens, it happens. But we're just blessed to be here. I never want to complain about health stuff because every day we wake up, that's a blessing to me. So I'm not going to complain. But Thelma saw the good in cats. She saw the good in living creatures. She was an incredibly compassionate woman. We think that's what happened that night. Now, Maggie Rico says that her mother, she just thinks that someone had taken advantage of her mother's kindness. And trust me, it happens. I mean, it happens to the best of us for sure. It happens to me a lot. So on April 8th, 2012, Maggie dropped her mother off at the local bar for a night out. She was planning to pick her up later and then just, go home. The call never came, so Maggie's call instead there was no answer. She didn't answer. There was no, but she still didn't worry. Her mother made new friends all the time. Maggie thought that Thelma was just meeting a new friend and you know didn't need a ride. The next morning was Easter Sunday, and as the whole family gathered eating lunch together, Lila received the call that would change her family forever. And guys, this is the sad part, but it is important to bring the good part first. Now, authorities told Leela that they had been in an accident and her mother had been involved. They asked her to identify her mom's birthday or body. I'm sorry. God, I can't believe I got that wrong. Sorry, guys. Lilia left the home and confirmed the identity of her mom. The image of her mother's face and neck, badly scraped and bruised, was seared into her mind forever. And it does. That stuff like that absolutely does stick in your head. Prayers for her. My God, it takes forever. And even then, it may never go away. Thelma Rico's body was discovered in an alley behind one of the bars in McAllen area. She had been raped and strangled to death. Well, my God. My God, that's terrible. Thelma's friends tell the sisters how much they resemble their mother and often remind them of how many people adored Thelma. Now, she loved to celebrate many holidays throughout the year. She would decorate their whole house no matter what. Now, that's the second one that we've seen. I have hiccups, guys. I'm sorry if you hear me hiccuping over here. Let me get a drink real quick. That's embarrassing to hiccup on a live. But hey, my hiccups kind of sound like giggles, so just roll with it. Now, her mother's favorite color was red, and there were red roses everywhere. Thelma wanted everything red. She also wanted many grandkids. Le- Leva had two children while her mother was still alive, but she didn't think that she would ever have any more. Not long after her mama died, Malia learned that she was pregnant again. So was Maggie, and was their sister in law. Now, they have no doubt in their mind that this was because of their mother looking down on them. But if you have any information on this unsolved murder of Thelma Rico, please contact the McAllen Police Department at 956-681-2000. And guys, it's been so long. If you have any kind of anonymous tip, don't be afraid to call in there anonymous. I mean, look how long this has been. Give this family some justice, please. You would want that if it was your family. But if you need to call the McAllen Police Department, this is the number 956-681-2000. This case is closer to, oh, is it? Is it closer to the border? Oh, well, that's a little scary at the moment. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to cause like anybody to be mad at me, but I mean, a lot of people have lived near borders for most of their life. And nothing has ever happened. But it is close to the border, which means if they weren't going to dispose a body, I mean, that gives them easy access to. Um, but at the same time, it's like, look at Nancy Guthrie. I feel so bad for her. And I know she's gotten tons of coverage, and I'm very thankful for that. But I covered a case yesterday of Madison Fields that barely had any. And thank you, Jesus, she was found today because she has been missing since February 13th. And a guy that was busted in a predator ring was arrested, but they couldn't prove that it had anything to do with her, but for the same thing. And I did do a live on that, guys. And if you're interested in that, you want to see where he got the predator group after him and he got stung. I mean, I know that nobody should take the law in their own hands. And these guys do put their life on the line. But I can't be mad at them for exposure because, raising a grandchild and I have a granddaughter also. So I appreciate that stuff. If someone wanted to cross the US, yeah. Well, I heard that even in Mexico, like you can drive in with no worries. It's just coming out. I don't know how true that is, but I do have a trip planned to go to the UK. I think it's next month. If it's not next month, it's at the very end of next month. But my grandson and I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go and see the UK, and because I mean, I keep watching Dinky Outdoors, and it's so beautiful. It's just I don't know. I think it's good to do adventures. I don't know how safe that would be right now, but we'll see. So, do we have any questions in chat besides that? I mean, I'm willing to chat with you guys. I totally miss all of you. I know some of us used to chat every day when I was just a mom. And at times I do regret having a channel because I used to talk about, whose kids and how they're doing, and Lisa and her ice fishing and her dogs and how cute they are, and Chris and Mustang. And I mean, I did. I got really close to a lot of people. But it seems like once you start your own channel and you're working so hard on your own channel, it's so hard to reconnect with people. So if any of you are interested in that, we can have a live and just chat. I have no problem with it. But I kind of need some feedback from you guys because I don't want to like sit up here and talk to myself. Don't get me wrong. I entertain myself. I'm an only child, but I kind of want to make this entertaining for you too. Even though I've just rambled, I apologize. This is Robert Caldron. Now, call it mother's intuition. In December 2015, Sarah Mendoza had a feeling that something was off. That sounds like Barb. Barb was at church when she knew. Now, She just knew that her son was driving his mother to a local Christmas party. I kind of felt it in my heart that there was something going on, Sarah recalled. I almost feel like something was going to happen to him. I could feel it. Her intuition was right. That night, there was a series of 911 calls regarding gunshots. A trail of blood led straight to the body of Robert. He was lying on a grass strip separating the sidewalk and the roadway in Pasadena, California neighborhoods. Now, Robert Calderon had been shot to death. He was only 27 years old. Robert loved sports, all of them. Growing up in the Wild West, it was odd for him to claim the New England Patriots, Boston Celtics, and Boston Red Sox as his favorite team. Hi, Pink Peony. Oh my goodness, I always get so excited to see you. I hope you're doing good. You call the shots at your channel. Yeah, but I want this to be like all of our channel. Like when I first did this, I didn't just do this because I wanted a channel. I just kind of wanted to stress some important parts. And I was hoping that kind of my people that I had modded with would come together with me. And I'm hoping that you guys feel like this is your community too, because you can say whatever you want to here. I'm not going to block you. Now, if someone's coming in trolling and they're just starting trouble on a serious case, I'll get them out of here. As long as there's no disrespect to the families, I have absolutely nothing. I have no problem with anyone being in here. Heck, I even had Walt Harris in here one night being nice. I don't know. Somebody needs to call him, make sure he's okay. Walt's a funny troll, but he was so nice. So it worried me a little. So Robert loved sports, all of them. Growing up on the West Coast, it was odd for him to claim the New England Patriots, which I'm sure unscripted there's probably pretty into them. Mustang, do you have a favorite team? Chris, you got a favorite team? I don't do sports, guys, so I know I took a bet on the Steelers and they actually won, but it got so close that I got scared I'll never do it again. It's been a heavy week. You know what, Pink? I was thinking about that. And if you guys have any idea how we can reconnect as a community, and you guys, we don't have to get along with everybody in this chat. We don't. But a lot has happened lately, and I've had 8 families reach out to me completely devastated. So if any of you feel that you need to talk about this, whether it's private or you want to get up on this panel, you can. But I have 8 families wanting on panel. I'm trying to avoid that. Because I don't like bringing any kind of drama into a missing advocates channel or, respecting the ones that have passed on. But I do care about my community so much. And not only my community, I mean, the whole community. And a lot of times these families don't get to speak enough just on their own loved one. And with this deal with Arctic, it has really affected a lot of people, whether it be anger, tears, fear. Um, so if that is something that you guys want to do, I will do it. I'm hesitant for it because, like I said, I don't do drama. So I won't do name calling and all of that. But you know what? It's triggering. Yes. And Pink Peony, some of us have some childhood trauma. And it's almost like we relive that through being betrayed by someone we're close to. And it's so hard. It is. It's a very hard thing. But bottling it up doesn't help either. And my whole goal when I started my channel was to give families a voice so they could be heard. So I have 8 so far. I told them if 2 more families reach out to me, I would gladly give them a panel to talk, but we're not giving his name. We're not going to show videos. I'm not doing any of that. But I will give them a platform to vent because, well, I mean, even if I get struck, it's okay. If Arctic would strike me after all that I have done to help him and he has done to help me, and he would actually strike me for that, that's all right. I don't have a strike. He can strike me. But I really don't think that he will because he knows that my heart has always been in the right place. I was just blinded by a friendship, I guess, but it'll never happen again. You can't fix it, and it's heartbreaking. It is. And many people I know are feeling the same way. I'm not saying this is just me, but I do feel like getting on here and explaining yourself for this and that is ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I did not know he was doing it. I'm not going to make this big log live about how I did. I didn't. If I knew that was doing this with children, I promise you, I'd have had his locked up for, just in a heartbeat. There would be nothing to stop me if I thought that. but none of us knew, and nobody can really be blamed except for him. And as much as I hate saying this, we have to, as a community, learn from this experience and realize that not everyone in our chats are our friends. And that's, even in Discord, I don't do Discords anymore. You can message me on Discord, but you will never see me join a Discord and all of that again. Because I'm not getting close to people anymore that can hurt me. I guess it's my boundary. I don't know. But I think we all need them. I mean, but yeah, even if he strikes me, I really don't think that he would strike me because I don't plan on having a live. If he would strike a live where his families that he covered their children's case, that's on him. You know, if he would do that, okay, I'll take my strike. Blindside is yes, and not knowing and not expecting, and it's hard. It's rough because like some of us were pretty close to him, but once him and his husband split, we all kind of had this distance there. But, we just have to learn from this and do better and fight harder. A part of me wanted to end my channel, and a part of me is like, no, we don't lay down and give up. We fight these kind of people and we continue. So here we are. So on the night of December 18th, 2015, Robert dropped his mother, Sarah, off at her Christmas party. He planned to pick her up at 10:35. The drive would usually just take a few minutes, but it took 40 minutes that day due to traffic. Now, Robert told his mom he was thankful that, he was there for her. It was the longest ride, but Sarah said it was so incredibly engaging and heartfelt. And I can understand that. Having boys and losing one and only have one left. Now I am raising my grandson, but I'm talking about two of my biological children, both sons. One is so busy and does his own thing, and I get it. I get how life gets busy, but these little things of families and getting together, guys, that stuff needs to come back. Because at the end of the day, when we're gone, what we leave behind is memories and fun. And kids don't care about your house. Kids don't care about any of that. Kids care about when you sit and play with them, love them. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I'm going to turn all of that negative crap into maybe a positive thing where we can even talk about better ways to save children because we have to learn from this. We have to. It can't just go away. We have to learn from it. Now, on the night of December 18th, 2015, Robert dropped his mother, Sarah, off at her Christmas party. Now, along dropping off his mother was Robert. Robert made his way to a friend's house to meet up with a girlfriend. The couple was planning to go ahead and go to the theater and watch the latest Star Wars movie. Well, they walked into the car, two friends stopped them and recommended that they make a quick trip to the store. Well, the Pasadena investigators continue to encourage the community to step forward with any and all information that could help solve this case. Now, friends and families have gathered at St. Andrew's Church for Robert's funeral. The funeral brought people of different cultures and races together. That's amazing. According to Sarah, she estimated over 1,200 people that attended his funeral to celebrate her son's birthday. I'm sorry, her son's celebration of life. Guys, can any of you say that you would have 1,200 people attend your funeral? I don't want to be like nosing in your stuff, but I'm going to tell you now, I don't. I have like outlived my family. I think I got one good friend that would drag my casket with the back of her pickup in, and I'd be fine with it. But as far as trusting six people, I don't have that in my life. I've outlived them. So, with that being said, please don't take, your family for granted because you have that many friends, Chris. Well, I'm so happy for you. I am very happy. No, I'm not saying that sarcastic. I'm very, very, very happy for you. Anyone that has six friends that can carry your casket, you're blessed. You're blessed. You really are. If you have any information on the unsolved murder of Robert Caldron, please call the Pasadena Sheriff's Department at 626-744-4501. Guys, we can't just let this stuff go away. And I realize that it is an old case, but you know what? Never forgotten. Never. Because one day that could be me on there. I am popular and know a lot of people. Well, Chris. Okay. I'm joking because that sounded so highfalutin. Well, I don't. I'm not popular. I've outlived my family, and Lisa Joe knows I really struggle playing well with others. And I know I'm the problem because of my mouth, but uh, I can't help it. It's just it comes right on out. I don't mean to, and I never mean to disrespect anyone, but man, I can make somebody mad in 2 seconds and not even know it and break my own heart. It's crazy. See, Pink Peony, I'm so happy when you come in here because it makes me realize that you're not one of those people that just don't like someone because someone else does. And I have high respect for people like that. So, Nikki Glover's mother, Jenna Marie Jones, has been missing for 2 decades, but Nikki has never stopped her search. Nikki describes her mom as a hard story, happy ending before her disappearance. But now her story is shrouded in mystery with no end in sight. There's a lot of, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. And it's crazy. It's like when you look at people and you have trusted them, um, I guess it's on us. That's on us for trusting someone that we really didn't know. And I don't want to be that kind of brutal person that says, "Oh, I am bitter." No, I don't want to do that. I still want to keep my soft heart. But man, it's hard to keep your soft heart when you see someone on one of those predator stings that you're just like, no, 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 he didn't do it. He didn't do it. And then he did it, and admits it. And my heart dropped and my stomach got nauseous. And I think I may have threw up a few times because, wow. So that's what I worry about with the families. I'm not going to come in here. I'm not going to come in here and rant and rave about him. He already knows how I feel about him. And if he don't, when he gets out of wherever he's at, he will. But it's just the idea of it. I mean, it's in our community. It's scary. And he would ask about my child every day. And I do believe on Discord calls, just like Dago and I would, Preston would come in and we would all have Dago and Dago's Discord stuff. And my kid was right there in the middle because I trusted him. I mean, not that they could get to him, but we really need to watch what we're doing with our children, even in conversation, because you just don't know. Now, I'm not saying that because he's gay. Not every gay person is like that. So before anyone even says that, I do not think that at all. You got good eggs and you got bad eggs. And it's just sad that we had to do it this way. You know, I love your peppy spirit and energy. Well, Pink, at some point we can lay down and we can be sad forever, or we can just get back up, fire it back up, fight harder, and save these babies. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Some people lay down and they moan and groan for years, and I'm just not one of those people. Oh, I still moan and groan, but I get up. I have to. If I don't get up, I'll die. Okay, so the mom was on drugs for 6 to 9 years, Nikki says, and the oldest of Gina's 6 children. Now, I remember how it was when I was in middle school. But she had a big turnout. She went to NA meetings, and in many ways, she became a soccer mom. I was a soccer mom. I coached. Gina married her husband, Wildred Jones, on September 13th, 1990. Nikki was incredibly proud of her mother in the turning of her life. Gina had 6 children and would do absolutely anything for them. She would do all the things that good moms do. Oh, you don't see her? Do I not have it up there? Oh my goodness. Chris, I'm so sorry. Yes, you can see her. Guys, I'm so sorry. Yes, she's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Chris, for correcting me. Excuse me. Now, this shocked the family's neighborhood, a newer development located in West Jacksonville on Big Sky Court. The area was just starting to sprawl. A lot of people were worried about Nikki, and it was a new area of Jacksonville at that time, and people didn't know what to think. Now, for many of these I've seen, Jacksonville is not a safe place. It's just not. Almost every one of these have to do in Jacksonville. So just remember that on vacations. As police were awaiting the warrant, the house caught fire and burned down. Now, police stated that Jones had fallen asleep in the bed with a lighted cigarette. And he was awoken by smoke alarms, but according to Nikki, police investigated Jones after he refused to. According to Nikki, police investigated Jones after he refused to cooperate. Red flag, Jones, why are you not cooperating? She doesn't speak to Jones anymore, as I wouldn't either. Jenna Jones was 36 years old when she was disappeared. She was 5'9" with a tall and gray brown hair and brown eyed guy. It was my birthday just 2 days before, Nikki says. Now, she made sure to come to my party, but she didn't stay for long, and that was a huge red flag to us. Nikki received a call from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office stating her mother never made it to work. Since then, she's stopped looking. She has not stopped looking for her mother. Nikki frequently posts on social media and her mom asking for any new updates or information. Now, ever since I've been collecting any information and bringing it over to JSO, Nikki said, her disappearance really affected the community and our family really suffers from it. Four of Nikki's siblings were living in the home at the time of their mom's disappearance, but the children were placed in foster care. And, they really worry about each other. You've been to Jacksonville? Oh, man, I hope you carry, Chris. Four of Nikki's siblings were living in the home at the time of the disappearance. The children were placed in the care of their aunt and uncle after a short time, after being placed in foster home. Despite Nikki being 21, she wasn't able to have custody of her siblings. In the 20 years since Gianna's disappearance, her family has. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. Went all sideways on. I think that the years have gone by. I keep asking them why they never did enough to look for her. Now, Gina loved to write. She would write letters and stories from anyone to read. Nikki still has one of her mother's journals. Now, Gianna has also become very involved with helping others from drug addiction, just as she once was addicted. She spent so long in meetings that she actually became a sponsor herself. She was very passionate about helping others, and Nikki said her best friend is her sponsor and has helped her out a lot. Well, that's great. Now, Gina Jones would be 56 if she were alive today. Every year on her birthday, some of the family will reunite, buy cake, and release balloons. But Gina Jones would be 56 today. She's missed out on seeing her 6 grandchildren grow up. She didn't get to meet any of her 13 grandchildren or her great grandchildren. If you have any information about the unsolved murder of Gina Jones, please contact the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at 904-630-0500. Isn't that just heartbreaking? That's so sad. Gosh. Mm-mm. Bad, bad. But it's everywhere. It's not just in Jacksonville, Florida. I can guarantee it. Duval County. I don't know where that is. I know I was going to move to Tennessee one time, Dover, Tennessee, but I didn't. I didn't get there. Have you guys ever wanted to move and then packed up and was like, no, because that's kind of what I do anymore. It's hard. It is. Okay, and we're almost done, guys. I won't keep you up forever. I know some of you are already asleep and just listening, and that makes my heart melt. Because I know if it was me and I was tired, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Well, I am stuck on top messages here, guys. Hold on. I don't want to miss anyone. Peony, yeah. But yeah, Pink, I mean, if I do a video, yeah, I may get struck, but oh well. I don't have any, so I'll have 3. Whatever. We have Fame Cooper. Isn't she just gorgeous? Make sure she's up there though. There she is. Okay. Fame Cooper. When it came to Fame Cooper, her 4th-grade best friend, Bobby Prado, said that her sweet yet shy personality is what made the two gravitate toward each other. When you hear of her friend, you hear friend for life. But in all honesty, guys, once you hit high school, at the end of your high school, everyone just kind of gravitates away. They do their own thing, they go to work. It's just kind of how it works. So the fact that these two stayed together all this time throughout this friendship is amazing. Born on September 19th, 1975, Cooper grew up in Fairmount, West Virginia. I love West Virginia. I swear one day I'm going to move there. Her mother was a late night dancer who came and went, and the man who was thought to be her father was in jail for murder. Ooh. So Cooper lived with a different family member, coming from different fathers. Now, Hornick remembers at the time she and her family spent living with her own father and his wife during that time, but Cooper was a rock. The second wife treated us horribly, and the things that she did I still don't remember. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But we definitely did not bond. We both came from dysfunctional families, Prato said. I think that's really what helped us grow our bond. Photo and Hormick said that Cooper was your typical 80s girl with teased hair, all big and out, band posters hanging everywhere with her favorite bands like New Kids on the Block and Kiss. Hammock remembers that her sister was just like, she loved glamour shots. I did too. I remember that phase of glamour shots. They were way too expensive and you looked like you were 40 years older, but they were great, weren't they? Years ago, wanted to go to the South because I wanted to be a Southern belle. Oh, think Peony, come to Missouri. I'll get you a dress and everything. Get you out there picking maters. We'll pretend. Now, even though Cooper came off shy to most people, she would be herself in front of her best friend, putting on shows for teddy bears and stuffed animals. With me, she just came out as herself. As the two girls entered their teens, they grew apart. Now, Pronto calls seeing Cooper at a lock in at a church youth group, hanging out with a crowd that seemed to be up to no good. Lock ins are very familiar in churches, especially Pentecostal ones. You dropped your child off. I loved them when I was little. My grandma would drop me off, and then I get to play basketball in these little arenas, stay all night. Everyone was, we all had to sleep in the gym, boys and girls, but on separate sides. And I mean, that was fun as a kid. Now, I wouldn't drop my kid off anywhere overnight. Kevin Moore, a new retired, worked for the sheriff's office in Fairville. Now, at the time of this murder, he had previously become close with Cooper, trying to get her out on the right track. After all, she had run away from home for the seventh time. After her last time running away, he finally decided to send her off to juvenile delinquency center in another city. When her great aunt couldn't drive her to pick her up from the center, Moore took on that task. Now, it's just something that never went away. She remembers the day, the very last year, that she just felt gave her a sign that she needed to help solve her friend's case. Sitting on a couch, Pronto had just found the FBI files for Cooper's case, and at that moment she heard the word fame uttered in the 48 special. Since that day, Pronto's been pushing to have the case solved. In January, Pronto traveled back to Fairmont from Houston to meet with Hornick and the sheriff to discuss having the case looked at again. Upon arrival, the two men learned that the sheriff was not going to make it to the meeting, but the detectives have already maintained contact. Pronto says that she feels that getting the answers of what happened to her friend is something the entire family needs. Now, the Hornicks kind of wish to get in person who killed her sister to be in prison, and they don't want to harm him or anyone else. But there's a lot of bad things that have gone on in this town. Fame's murder was one of the first really bad things that nobody knew why it happened. And it needed to be solved. And as for Cooper, what Cooper would be doing now in her life would have been taken serious. But now she doesn't have that opportunity. Hornick believes she would be a mother, maybe a grandmother, working in a field that gave back to people. I could see her being a doctor, like she wanted to help people. If you have any information on the unsolved murder of Fame Cooper, please call the Marion County Sheriff's Office at 304-367-5333. Isn't that sad? I mean, well, so many of these families struggle, and it's so sad. It is. But guys, before I let you go, I do have. This is Travis Perlman. He is not a cold case unsolved homicide, but his mother has. I've reached out to her for like a comment because she's just not able to. She just can't advocate for him. She's in pieces, and I can completely understand that. But I do have her Facebook message, and I think it's very important that you guys hear kind of the deal with this. So Travis Perlman, 19 years old, he weighed 130 to 140 pounds. He was 5'8" at the time, blue eyes, brown hair. He has a spider tat on his forearm, last seen wearing dark gray zip-up hoodies with a green Nike logo and Timberland boots. Now, Travis was last seen in Moose Jaw on August 7th, 2025. Police have learned Travis may have ties to people in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, in the United States, and the Moose Jaw Police Service wants to speak with Travis only to confirm that he is okay. But I have a couple other pictures here. What's this? There we go. And then here he is here. One's a little. Here's the tattoo. So I'm going to go ahead and read what his mother had said as we're kind of looking at the tattoo, because that tattoo could very well identify him anywhere. Let me go down to her message. I just had it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So what I did is when I had spoke with her, I was asking questions about him, like what is he like? What's his personality? Did he joke? You know, who is he? And this is her. And guys, it's heartbreaking, but be ready. Travis truly lit up any room he walked into. He was liked by nearly everyone, and I was always amazed at how easily he could just spark up a conversation, even with a complete stranger. He was clever and he liked to test the limits, but he had such a big heart. Travis grew up playing baseball in Victoria and was always well known in his community. He had a great sense of humor and loved making people laugh. I think did this one. There is another. There we go. And he loved to make people laugh. Being around him meant you were almost guaranteed to smile. He was so spontaneous as well. One day we woke up and decided to get matching tattoos. He was so excited to do something that we hadn't planned and done before. And when I say, the mom can't, she absolutely just can't. Like, she had agreed to come up, and then she said, would it be okay for me just respond here? I just don't think I'm able to keep it together to speak about him. Sorry, I wish I was strong enough. And that's how sad these families feel when they reach out or when anybody reaches out to them. And of course, I'm not making her do that. That's silly. I would never put a family through that ever. But if you see here, they do have his name spelled wrong. And so I kind of tried to correct in between. But this one says, the same information, but there is one more that's a little off. See, now we got this missing person, and it is Travis, but I'm trying to find the one that says Perlman because there is Pearl, and then we got PER. And that kind of threw me off, and I didn't want to bother her anymore with with any of that. But here's his face. Again, there's that tattoo. Here's his flyer. Here's another flyer. I think this flyer right here shows his face really well, a strong jawline. He's a very cute kid. I don't think he would be hard to spot if he was out and about, but we don't know that he's out and about. So, guys, I guess what I will do is I will play one funny just so you guys can laugh before you go to bed because I want you all blessed and I want you to sleep well. So, I don't really have any major ones. Lisa hasn't sent me any of the funny little random animals, but I won't blame her because I haven't asked her for them either. But I think this one is so adorable with the little girl. And I think you will too because kids are amazing. I love every one of them.
You know who I am. I've been living here for 16 months.
No, you've been living here for
60 months, goodness gracious.
5 years.
And I said, Bob, when I grow up to be big, you're gonna know something.
And I hope you told him.
And I said, Bob,
What?
it's either Dad taking a boat and whooping you, or I'm gonna tell him that you did the F word.
Okay.
And you said the bad word, and you've been mean to me. And you pushed me off the hill at the crew house. Hey, and then I said, I'm gonna tell him that when I was jumping on the couch, you took one of my leg and you tripped me over.
Mm.
How does that sound? And one time I did it to him and I said, oh yeah. I said, you'll sure remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because when
that's
I
cute,
grow up, you
guys.
know nothing
So
about
cute.
me.
No, I got their hands full with this one.
But he's your brother. You're supposed to love him.
I said, listen, you have too much words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
If you don't hush, then I'm going to smack your mouth. You don't hush.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Hush that mouth one good time and he'll hush.
And I told Bob, listen, you're a 1-year-old boy, and first of all, you are mean.
Okay.
And I said, you don't even love me. And
drama.
That's all you play with. You just play with my friends.
I just got deeper, didn't it?
When you think, when he brings something cool, you say, oh, that's cool. And I say, it's not cool to you. And I said, you don't just love me. You play with other kids. Okay? And when he gave me his drink,
Yeah.
and I said, I'm about to pour it because I took the lid off.
Oh.
I took the lid off it. He said, I just gave you my drink to hold it. His paws over there taking so much space over it. I said, Bob, are you blind?
I said, Bob.
You can put your cup wherever you want to put it. Listen. You know where you can put it?
Where?
And your personality. That's what you need. Put it.
Oh, he needs a
That's no
personality. Woo! These kids, I'm telling you what, they crack me up. Let me take Travis off here. I do kind of want to lighten the mood because we are going to bed and all of this is heavy. So bear with me. This is funny too. If it will load. We may just have a train wreck. Imagine that, right? Just for Dawn, I guess we will do our train wreck. Yes, Pink, I think you're right. I do believe she's going to do real good in drama if she wants to act. She is. She is number one right there for sure. My goodness. God love them. I mean, they're the most innocent things in the world. Closest thing to heaven, I swear.
You really do that?
I ain't did nothing. He just lying.
I said
Yeah.
you rub your butthole on my headrest.
Leave.
You do. You lift your tail up.
Oh, you lying.
No, you lift your tail up and you rub your butthole on the headrest.
I can't do that.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
I can.
You're not supposed
Yes,
to.
I can.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
I'm sorry.
You're not.
Sorry.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know.
Oh, yikes. That was a little loud.
Cats in the cradle.
Oh, he's back again. Guys, that might be it. I don't know. Pretty sure I had deleted a lot of them.
Boy, almost done.
My dog does that. My dog does that.
Almost done. Be brave. It's just a vaccine.
Aww.
Stay still, brave boy. Okay, just a quick vaccine. Just one little shot.
That was nothing. You okay, buddy?
Pugs are so funny. Pugs are hilarious. And so are Frenchies. They're so vocal, though. Oh, my goodness. They're vocal. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight or this morning. I know it was a really late one, but I appreciate each and every one of you that have come in tonight. God bless you all. I hope you sleep well and feel loved. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.
In a world that turns too fast, some are lost, left in the past. But we won't let silence win. We'll speak their names again. voices rising through the dark. Every story leaves a mark. We are the ones who won't forget. The fight for truth is not done yet. We shine the light, we raise the call. For the missing, the broken, we stand tall. For justice, for healing, for every tear, we carry their names